I never thought I'd be checking my phone's photo gallery for ammunition against my sister-in-law. But here I was, scrolling through hundreds of pictures, while my daughter Emma slept peacefully in her crib. The party had ended hours ago, but my hands were still shaking with anger as I thought about Amanda's behavior during what should have been a perfect celebration. "You're obsessing again," my husband Mike said, placing a gentle hand on my shoulder. He was right, but he hadn't seen the latest posts on Amanda's Instagram story. Each swipe revealed another carefully curated photo of our supposed party disasters. The homemade decorations I'd spent weeks creating, the organic cake I'd baked myself, the carefully planned activities she deemed too simple. "Did you see what she wrote about the cake?" I asked, turning my phone to show him. "Some people shouldn't try to be Martha Stewart when there are perfectly good bakeries around." "That's a direct attack, Mike. She's been doing this since the day Emma was born." Mike sighed, running a hand through his hair. "Lisa, you know how Amanda gets. She's just particular about things." Particular was an understatement. From the moment I'd announced Emma's birthday party plans, Amanda had tried to take over. First came the helpful suggestions, a fancy venue instead of our backyard, an expensive catering service instead of my home-cooked meal, professional decorations instead of the personalized touches I created. When I politely declined, she switched tactics. "I just want my niece to have the best," she'd said sweetly during Sunday dinner last week. "After all, first birthdays are more for the parents than the baby. Everyone will be taking pictures, sharing on social media." The threat had been clear, though unspoken. The party itself had started wonderfully. Our backyard was transformed into a whimsical garden party, with soft pastel streamers dancing in the breeze and handmade paper flowers adorning every surface. Emma's face lit up at the colorful decorations, her tiny hands reaching for the butterflies I carefully crafted and hung from tree branches. Then Amanda arrived, an hour late and wielding her phone like a weapon. "Oh, this is different," she denounced loudly, immediately starting to document everything. Click, a photo of the slightly crooked welcome sign. Click, the homemade cupcakes with their imperfectly swirled frosting. Click, Emma's high chair, which I decorated with hand-painted flowers. I tried to focus on our guests, our parents cooing over Emma, friends chatting and enjoying themselves, children playing in the carefully arranged activity stations. But Amanda's presence was like a dark cloud, her camera shutter a constant reminder that every minor flaw was being documented. "The lighting is terrible for photos," she declared, positioning herself near the cake table. "And these decorations, well, I suppose some people find the DIY look charming." I bit my tongue, remembering the hours I'd spent creating each element, the paper flowers that took 3 attempts to get right, the personalized party favors with pressed flowers from our garden, the hand-painted signs with Emma's favorite nursery rhymes. The breaking point came during the cake ceremony. I'd spent 2 days perfecting Emma's smash cake, a small organic vanilla creation with natural food coloring used for the soft pink frosting. As we gathered around to sing, Amanda's voice rose above the others. "Well, this is different from what I expected," she announced, her phone recording every moment. "I brought a backup cake, just in case. It's from that boutique bakery downtown, the one that does all the celebrity kids' parties." My mother-in-law's eyes lit up. "Oh, Amanda, you're always so thoughtful." I watched frozen as Amanda retrieved an elaborate cake from her car, 3 tiers of professional perfection, complete with fondant flowers and gold leaf detailing. The oohs and ahs from some of the guests felt like tiny daggers. But Emma, my beautiful, perfect baby girl, had other plans. When presented with both cakes, she reached decisively for my homemade creation. Her tiny hands plunged into the simple pink frosting as she laughed with pure joy, smearing it across her face with abandon. "Well," Amanda sniffed, still recording, "I suppose that's sweet, in a messy sort of way." Now, hours later, I scrolled through my own phone, past the happy photos of Emma covered in pink frosting, past the videos of her playing with her cousins in the grass, past the countless moments of genuine joy that Amanda had somehow missed in her quest to document every perceived failure. Then I found it, a folder I'd almost forgotten about, filled with photos from the last year. Photos that told a very different story about my dear sister-in-law and her ideas of perfect parenting. Photos that showed exactly why I'd chosen to do things my way. "Mike," I called out, my voice steady now. "Remember when you said I should stop keeping receipts?" He looked up from his book, concerned. Lisa, what are you thinking? I smiled, feeling calmer than I had all day. I'm thinking it's time to share some pictures of my own. The next morning, while Emma played with her blocks on the floor, I opened my laptop and created a new social media album titled A Year of Family Memories. My hands hovered over the keyboard as I considered the consequences. Mike's words from last night echoed in my head. Are you sure you want to escalate this? I was sure. Amanda's latest Instagram story had pushed me over the edge. She'd edited together a tutorial video titled First Birthday Party Fails, using footage from our party, complete with snarky captions and laughing emojis. The final frame showed her rescue cake with the text, "Sometimes Auntie knows best." The first photo I uploaded was from 3 months ago. Amanda's pristine, magazine-worthy playroom, the one she loved showing off on social media. But my photo was taken from a different angle, revealing the hidden mess shoved behind the couch and the boxes of unopened educational toys she bought just for her Instagram aesthetic. Remember this playdate? I texted Mike, attaching the photo. When Emma crawled behind the couch and found all those Amazon boxes, his response came quickly. Lisa. I continued scrolling through my gallery. There it was, the photo from Christmas that captured Amanda's perfect holiday dinner table, the one she'd bragged about for weeks. And right next to it, my discreetly taken photo of the store-bought dishes she'd secretly transferred onto her family heirloom serving plates. Just keeping things honest, I muttered, adding it to the album. More photos followed. Amanda's infamous Easter brunch, where she criticized my store-bought rolls, not realizing I'd seen her hiding the bakery boxes in her garage. The homemade Halloween treats she brought to Emma's daycare party, still bearing faint price tags from the gourmet market downtown. The traditional family recipe lasagna she'd served at my baby shower. I had pictures of the catering van pulling away from her house. As I organized the photos, a text from my mother-in-law popped up. Darling, have you seen Amanda's latest post? She's just trying to help. You know she has such elegant taste. I left it unread. Instead, I found my favorite picture from yesterday. Emma laughing in her high chair, pink frosting everywhere. Pure joy radiating from her face. Next to it, I placed a photo of Amanda's reaction, her perfectly made-up face twisted in barely concealed disgust as she filmed the moment for her critique. Remember why we're doing this, I whispered to myself, thinking of Emma. This wasn't just about me anymore. I couldn't let Amanda's version of perfect influence how my daughter saw herself or her home. The final photo in my collection was from last month's family dinner. Amanda had arrived late, as usual, with a store-bought pie she claimed was homemade. But I'd been early that day, helping my mother-in-law set up, and I'd seen Amanda's husband Tom sneaking the empty bakery box to the outdoor trash. The photo showed him mid-disposal, the bakery's distinctive logo clearly visible. Just as I was about to hit post, my phone rang. It was Tom. Lisa, he sounded tired. Amanda's really upset about the party. I noticed, I replied coolly. The Instagram tutorial was especially creative. He sighed. Look, you know how she gets. She's been struggling lately. Her lifestyle blog isn't taking off like she hoped, and her followers keep asking why she doesn't have kids of her own yet. I felt a twinge of guilt, remembering the fertility struggles Amanda had confided in me about last year, before she'd started her campaign of criticism. Back then, we'd actually been close. She'd been one of the first people I told about my pregnancy with Emma. That doesn't make it okay, Tom, I said softer now. She turned my daughter's first birthday into content for her social media takedown. I know, he admitted, and I've told her she went too far. But maybe you could be the bigger person here. For the sake of family peace. I looked at Emma, now napping peacefully on her playmat, surrounded by the paper flowers from her party, the same flowers Amanda had called tacky and budget. My daughter deserved better than to grow up thinking her mother's efforts weren't good enough. I'll think about it, I told Tom, and hung up. I turned back to my laptop, where the album sat ready to upload. It would be so easy to hit post, to watch Amanda's carefully curated image crumble. All those perfectly staged photos, all those critical comments about my parenting, I could destroy them with a single click. Instead, I opened a new message. Amanda, I have an album ready to post. It includes a year's worth of behind-the-scenes photos from your perfect parties and family dinners. Before I share it, I thought we should talk. Coffee tomorrow? Just us. Liza. I attached the photo of the bakery box from last month's dinner and hit send. Her response came within seconds. Delete that photo. Please. I smiled. Let's talk first. No phones, no cameras. Just two sisters-in-law having an honest conversation. 3 dots appeared and disappeared several times before her final reply came through. Starbucks, 9 a.m. As I closed my laptop, Mike came in with a freshly awakened Emma in his arms. Everything okay? He asked, noticing my expression. I took our daughter, breathing in her sweet baby scent. We'll see, I said, watching Emma reach for one of the paper flowers. But I think it's time Amanda and I had a real conversation about what makes something perfect. I'd arrived at Starbucks 10 minutes early, choosing a quiet corner table away from the windows. No perfect lighting for Instagram shots here. Amanda was already there, fidgeting with an untouched cappuccino. Her phone conspicuously absent. She looked different without a camera in her hand. Smaller somehow, more like the woman who'd cried on my shoulder about negative pregnancy tests before Emma was born, less like the polished social media presence she'd become. I deleted the posts about Emma's party, she said before I could sit down. All of them. I nodded, setting my own phone face down on the table. I saw. Thank you. Silence stretched between us, thick with unspoken words. Amanda's perfectly manicured nails tapped against her cup in an anxious rhythm. You know, I finally said, I remember when you used to come over just to play with Emma. No photos, no posts. You'd sit on the floor with her for hours, letting her mess up your designer clothes, and you didn't care. Amanda's eyes welled up. That was before the blog took off. Before I have 10,000 followers watching my every move, expecting perfect parties and perfect houses and perfect. She trailed off, wiping quickly at her eyes. Perfect lives? I finished softly. She nodded. Do you know what they comment on every single post? When are you having kids of your own? You make such a perfect mom. Your house is so clean. Wait until you have children. Her voice cracked. And every time I see you with Emma, making it look so easy. Easy? I couldn't help but laugh. Amanda, I spent 3 hours cleaning smashed peas off the ceiling last week. Emma went through 4 outfits yesterday alone. Nothing about this is easy. But you don't care. She burst out. You let her make messes and wear mismatched clothes and eat cake with her hands. You make those little paper flowers that aren't perfect but somehow look exactly right in your house. And everyone loves it. They love you for it. I reached into my bag and pulled out a small photo album, a real one, with printed pictures. Look at this, I said, opening to a photo from 2 months ago. It showed Amanda lying on our living room floor, teaching Emma to high-five. Both of them were laughing, completely unaware of the camera. This is the sister-in-law I miss. Amanda touched the photo gently. I remember that day. Emma had just learned to clap. You didn't post about it, I pointed out. You didn't critique my unvacuumed carpet or the pile of unfolded laundry in the background. You were just there, being her aunt. My followers wouldn't want to see that, she whispered. Maybe not, I agreed, pulling out my phone and opening the folder I prepared last night. But they might be interested in seeing these. Amanda tensed. The photos you threatened to share? No, I turned the phone to show her. These are different. Look. The first photo showed Amanda reading to Emma using silly voices that made her giggle. The next captured them baking cookies together during Christmas, both covered in flour. Photo after photo of genuine moments, imperfect and beautiful. I have a year's worth of these, I said quietly. A year of you being an amazing aunt when you thought no one was watching. This is the content your followers should see. Real life, real love, real family. Amanda was crying openly now. I'm so sorry about the party, she managed. I got so caught up in how everything should look that I forgot how it should feel. I reached across the table and squeezed her hand. I have an idea. Why don't you come over tomorrow? Emma's going to help me clean up the party decorations. It'll probably take 3 times longer than if I did it myself, and she'll definitely get covered in glitter. No phones allowed. A smile broke through her tears. Can we save some of those paper flowers? They really were beautiful. Only if you let me teach you how to make them, I countered. Fair warning, your first few will probably look terrible. She laughed, a real laugh, not the practice one she used in her videos. I'd like that. That evening, as I scrolled through Instagram one last time, I saw Amanda had made a new post. It was a single photo from Emma's party that I hadn't even noticed her taking. The three of us together, Emma reaching for one of Amanda's perfectly styled curls while I tried to wipe frosting off her chin. The caption read, "Sometimes perfect moments aren't perfect at all. Thank you, but Lisa, for teaching me that. Hashtag real family, hashtag blessed auntie, hashtag no filter." I showed it to Mike, who was watching Emma demonstrate her newfound ability to put everything in her toy box, including the TV remote. Well, he said, pulling me close, "Looks like your photo collection can stay private after all." Most of it, I agreed, watching Emma topple headfirst into the toy box. "But I'm keeping that bakery box picture, just in case." He laughed. "That's my girl." As if on cue, my phone buzzed with a text from Amanda. "Still on for tomorrow? I bought some glitter glue. Tom says I'm not allowed to complain when it gets in my hair."